And number two, I can't believe that you know, campus security hasn't heard of MySpace. Not everything on MySpace is funny. Here's a poor girl who lost her child, and I've blacked out some of this. I took down her name and her date of birth, and she put her parents' full names up there and her three sisters' names up there, and she says, my name is so-and-so, I'm 18 years old, and she talks about how she lost her child because she was physically abused. Gives all of her personal details, her photo, and frankly, the most intimate detail of her life. And I put this up here because it's an example of what's acceptable these days. This is why things have changed, because self-contribution of data has changed. Here is Rainey DeMalco. Rainey DeMalco says, and she gives her name and her place of birth, and she talks about being abused by her parents. She talks about being pimped out. She talks about beating somebody to death with a rock. Pretty remarkable. Now, I don't know if this is a real page or not. I think it probably is. I've put this up here because it's a current page, and you can verify it. If I was putting up all the pages I've seen, there's a worse page that I've seen where a girl talks about being sexually abused when she gives her name and her date of birth and city, state, like this, and she talks about being sexually abused as a child, and all of her details, and talks about being pimped out by her uncle and contracting AIDS, and it says, there's a space where it says, what do you want the most? And she says, having sex with my father one more time, so my AIDS can kill him. And that's something that somebody felt comfortable putting up on MySpace. Here's a MySpace group of people who have been raped. They put up their names, they put up their photos, for example. If you look at the center one, Odd Girl, very easy to identify her. These are people who talk about being raped and give all their details. You know, little sobering, but this is the current state of affairs. There is no more sense of privacy, not because it's been ripped away from you in some Orwellian way, but because you flushed it down the toilet. And again, as an investigator, thank you very much. Facebook, Friendster, Bebo, all the same. And by the way, all of these sites and MySpace give me one of the three holy grails of an investigator, which we're going to talk about. Number one, your photo. Used to be impossible to get. Now it's a joke to get it. I remember when I first started as an investigator, I would pay sources at the DMV, or I would pay people at the PD up to $500 for your driver's license photo. So when I was watching your house, I'd know who the right guy coming in and out was. Now I just have to go to MySpace. Second thing, your location. Before this is over, you're going to see how I can find your current location without leaving my desk. And the third is, who do you know? Who has inside, intimate information about you that I can interview? Holy grail number three. Thanks to the net, no problem. I know everybody you've gone to school with, classmates. I know everybody you hang out with. I know everybody who you consider a close friend. Oh, and by the way, so I don't have to go to the trouble of actually going to 3 websites, you put it all on one website. Now let's talk about some of the people who actually make money off of knowing all of this information about you. I'm not even going to ask you who uses Amazon, because the answer is everybody in this room, unless you're the Unabomber and living in the woods without a computer. But think for a second about what Amazon knows about you. They know where you live, where you work. They know about your finances. They know what you like to read. They know what music you like to listen to. They know every interest of yours, every like, every dislike, all of the things that make you, you. Essentially, they've got a database of everybody in America's soul. Do I want to know are you Jewish, for example? If I'm an anti-Semite and I want to make a database of Jewish people, no problem. Just look at the book.